I recently made a community post about my exclusive Patreon BL series. So go ahead, go to my community tab if you want to know all about it. But the short story is become a patron for $2 and you'll be able to watch an exclusive BL reaction to Club Friday. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Room Number 9. So last time we left off right as we had well, I don't know if I'm actually going to have the option. I probably won't. But right as Daichi and Seiji were given the option... Is that 2 task 1s again? Dear God. The administrators of the room are really drunk or something. Either way, we have choice of task 1, another anima situation, or task 1. We must create an incision on the body of at least 100 millimeters in length and 8 millimeters deep. Wait, haven't we done that one? Wait, am I confused? Did I have like some kind of a... I remember last time I played, I thought we had to cut off his finger. I thought that was... am I having a Mandela effect? I didn't even know what to think. Because isn't that the task 1, the second task 1? Isn't that the same task we did at the very beginning? Wasn't it? Gloom hung over me. The only thing I was feeling was a sense that I was completely helpless. No matter what I tried to do, this wasn't the first time I'd felt this way. This deep sense of abject powerlessness. My desire to find some way to cut through the tension had withered and died. Everything felt pointless, and that was a first for me. Why is the piano music so sad? I feel like this track doesn't play a lot. I feel like I maybe heard it one other time in the game. In the past, whenever something awful happened to me somewhere deep in my heart, I always believed that I could do something, or that there was someone who could help me. But I didn't believe that now. Just because of anima? I felt trapped, like I'd been locked in a glass box and the walls were slowly closing in on me. It was suffocating. Maybe I could think normally if I positioned myself as the person who needed to do the saving. Surely I could put my mind to trying to save someone, to trying to save Seiji. Maybe I was just scum, though. There was some part of me that was almost looking forward to hurting and unsettling my best friend. Okay? I looked over at Seiji with those pathetic thoughts in my head. He had already closed the menu and put the tablet away and gone back to reading on his e-reader.
夜でいいよな。
As dejected as he seemed, his voice was still firm. It wasn't a question, merely simple confirmation. I don't want to do the first one again, Seiji. I felt like when you climb a flight of stairs and there's one less than you expect, so your foot falls through the air. I'd expected Seiji's mood to mirror my own, and now I was unbalanced. Huh, so I guess we are doing it. It's so much, like, every other time we went to do this task, like, obviously, like, no one's happy to do it, but he's so depressed to do it now for some reason. I just stared vacantly at the TV. I felt detached, and all I could really do was kill time at that point. Anything was better than complete silence. I couldn't move or think. I couldn't even talk to Seiji. I was surrounded by nothingness. I just waited for night to come, counting the minutes. We're not doing it again. We're not watching it again. So I guess I'll just have to skip through this scene. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, so I had to skip through that scene manually because none of the text was blue, which means I've already seen it, but I've seen all that text before. Nothing was different. So I just had to manually skip through it as fast as I could. It was extremely annoying. I did not like seeing it. I could smell it again. So let's just hear what Daichi has to say about this and whether or not Seiji's going to go boom boom. I think I might be able to read through this quickly too. I don't think there's too much new. I left the bathroom in a stupor. Everything felt so distant, like some kind of surreal dream. The room's tablet was lying abandoned on one of the chairs. I knew I should probably make sure we got the points. I was sure we got them anyway. I feel like I've read all of this exactly. It reminded me that they were watching us and laughing, couldn't escape their eyes. Was escape a possibility? Turned off the lights, crawled into bed. There was a dull ache running between your belly, and weird. I could only guess, but I must have started in the middle of giving Seiji that enema. I didn't even notice until he opened his mouth at the end. Huh? Wait, this is a little bit new, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I would remember this. There was a dull ache running between my belly and my crotch. The ache must have meant... Okay. I don't remember him saying this any of the other times after this scene, but maybe he did. He got a boner. I mean, I'm pretty sure we knew that he did enjoy it, but I don't know if he said it in these words. Yeah, for some reason my heart was fluttering in my chest too. It didn't make any sense. Why was I feeling like this? Because you're a sick deviant? I don't know. Girl, how does your heart... Imagine you're in the room, you're Seiji, and Daichi just did that to you, you know, as part of the task. And then imagine afterwards, Daichi is like, the whole time I was doing that task, my heart was just fluttering. And he confesses to you right there, and you're just like, what the hell? What's wrong with you? That was the most disgusting task. Oh lord. Anyway. Why didn't I feel any guilt or anxiety? Why was I just feeling agitated and detached at the same time? Nothing made sense. I kind of wanted to rub one out, but it wasn't a very strong desire. I just sort of wanted to touch myself to relieve my discomfort. I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear I didn't. But it wasn't because I didn't need it bad. God effing damn it. I pulled into a tighter ball and pulled the sheets over my head. It was insanity. The whole situation was driving us out of our minds. But even knowing that didn't do a thing to shake what I was feeling. It just felt like a heavy stone was sitting on top of my head, slowly crushing me to death. Okay, so we didn't even... Oh. I was gonna say, Daichi didn't even think about whether or not Seiji was okay in there. But I guess now we're with Seiji? Wait, is this dialogue? No, is this narration from Seiji's point of view? I don't think we've ever had that so far throughout all of our playthrough time of the room. Okay. Well, I should technically do Seiji's narration in a different voice, shouldn't I? After I got things roughly cleaned up, I leaned back against the wall of the shower and slid down to the floor, my body exhausted from expelling the contents of my stomach. My heart felt strangely calm after the pain went away. I think I would have given Seiji, if the game wasn't voiced, I would have given Seiji this British accent, despite the fact that I knew I had completely exposed and humiliated myself. That also meant I had nothing left to hide. Okay, I mean, you've seen my stool. I have nothing left to hide. Nothing at all. I literally spilled my guts, so I had the feeling that anything else I might be made to do wouldn't make me feel all that different. My despair felt faintly warm, the same temperature as the water from the shower that I'd used to wash off the tile that was now gently beating down my skin. Since my face was still cold from the sweat clinging to it, I welcomed the warmth. I had finished scrubbing every square inch of the tile and collecting pieces too large to rinse down the drain with toilet paper and flush down the toilet. I was pretty sure this was the first time I'd touched any of my before, mine or otherwise. I'd never had pets or much occasion to handle other living creatures. I'd never had to clean up after a cat or dog, let alone even consider that I have to do it for myself barehanded. I have to admit, I was a little surprised at how easily I'd managed. I guess at this point, even having to clean up my own duty wasn't particularly upsetting. Maybe it was the relief after the pain or that of that massive enema that made the cleanup seem less daunting. Or maybe it was just that I disassociated during the whole situation and was still largely detached from reality. The mess was pretty fluid to begin with, so it just washed away relatively easily and didn't get stuck in the grout. Well, I'm glad for that. At least the administrators here, the cleaning crew at the room, isn't gonna have to scrub out your duty. Of course, the smell forced me to confront the reality of the situation. I scattered body wash along the glass and floor and walls since it bothered me. They provided us with full-size bottles. I had unscrewed the lid of the body wash and turned it upside down to throw a generous amount of its contents around the space. The vaguely familiar fragrance Common de Fancia brands, like you'd find in department stores or the duty-free shop at the airport, choked out everything else. I kept running the shower the whole time. Normally I'd be concerned about running up the water bill or wasting water, but I couldn't care less about that now. Ugh. I hated that. Truly, truly hated that. Should I regale the YouTube audience what happened? Just in case they weren't able to watch the video right now. The uncensored scene. So Seiji went into heat by himself in the shower. Literally, that's what happened. He thinks, Seiji literally says he's essentially no longer human. And I hate the narration in this game. The descriptions in this game, they're awful. They're terrible. It's very bad writing. I was lying in the dark, curled up in a ball and buried in the sheets with only my own warmth to keep me company. Curling up like this used to help me sleep when I was a kid. I do this to keep myself warm on cold winter nights when neither of my parents came home and I couldn't turn on the heats. Back then, I just had a hard time sleeping because I was hungry, but right now I wasn't all that tired. My body wasn't particularly exhausted either. I just wanted to sleep to forget. My boner had thankfully gone away, but I felt heavy. I felt like my body was stuff caught in and my heart was made of lead. It's probably because I was tired of everything, tired of living. I thought back to our first day here when I had my boob drawn. Yes, when I had my boob drawn. That was only hard on me physically, but now I felt like the same drained feeling had finally reached my heart. I was tired of hoping, too. I didn't want to do anything anymore. Nothing at all. Seiji sure is taking a long time there. I understood he didn't want to come out right away, but I was worried, blah blah blah. Picked up my phone off the nightstand. Of course, I wasn't good for checking the time. Wasn't a whole lot different at this point. I remember exactly when he left, but it had to have been at least 30 minutes since. I tossed and turned as the covers rustled around me. I couldn't connect to Rhine or Faithbook. Faithbook? Ooh, honey, you trying to tell me that you're part of... that you're some kind of Christian? You're on Christbook out there? And I wasn't going to be getting any texts either. I felt so lonely, I really couldn't think... I really don't think I'm an internet addict, but holding that useless smartphone in my hand really made me feel cut off from the world. Or maybe it wasn't really loneliness, but fear. Fear of the weight of being utterly alone that was weighing on me. Right now, the two of us should have been spending the last bit of our time in Okinawan beaches, drinking beer. Bet we could have made a friend or two and be drinking with them, exchanging numbers. But back in reality, I was like a selfish on the bottom of the dark ocean. Not going anywhere, completely out of reach, doing nothing but technically being alive. Without another soul in the world knowing about me. Don't drag shellfish like that. They have very happy lives. It was a deep, dark loneliness. I was startled by the sound of the door to the bathroom opening. The scent of body wash wafted out into the room. Oh god, I hope... Do I hear Seiji breathing? Oh, I hear him breathing. Oh, no. If there's another scene right now, I can't leave it in this video. I just don't want another scene right now. If there's a scene, it's going to be in the next video. I don't want it. I wasn't alone. I had Seiji. But he didn't move. He was just standing at the threshold of the bathroom. I wondered anxiously what was wrong as I laid there with my back to him. Maybe I should pretend to be asleep. No, that wouldn't work. The light from my phone screen was probably leaking out from under the covers. He must have known I was awake. Somehow 10 minutes had passed since I picked my phone up. Honestly, this is like a little bit scary for me. This is like a horror game at this point. I'm just afraid that Seiji is going to come in here, get under the covers, and we're going to have some terrible, terrible descriptions in the uncensored scene again, and I don't want it. Please just get in bed and go to sleep, Seiji. Please don't wake Daichi up. Please, God, please. It felt so awkward. I didn't know how I should face him. When I got a boner from watching him go through that ordeal and didn't even bother to check on him this whole time. No, I couldn't just ignore him. I didn't have a real reason to either. I just needed to turn over and tell him to come to bed already, just like normal. Just as I was turning over...
Daichi.
Yeah, come to bed. Go to sleep. Alright guys, so I went ahead, I clicked forward on this, and there was a CG that obviously cannot be on YouTube, but this video shall be ending here. And the CG was actually a bit horrific. It looked bad. It looked really bad. Like scary bad, like horror bad. But I will see you guys in the next video, so I'm kind of excited to see where this will go, but at the same time, these scenes, they're exhausting to read. They really are, because they're so bad. And for me, I get nothing out of them. They're not stimulating in any way. They're just bad. So this game is sometimes a bit exhausting to play, though I do have fun with it. Anyway, so I'm ending it here, as I said. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!